My name's Nguyen. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I am a Vietnamese American transgender woman. I grew up in Saigon. Well, I was born in London, and well, that's a bit of a story in itself, and that's how I came to have a UK citizenship, and how I was able to escape out of Vietnam when Saigon fell in 1975. After I left Saigon, I went to England, spent a couple of years there, then went to New York City to rejoin my family, went to New York University, and then graduated and worked up there, and I relocated to Austin in 1992. So I have been here a good long time. I consider myself almost a native Austinite. I am involved with a number of social justice organizations. So lately, the organizations that I'm most involved with have been the 50-51 organization, Resist Austin, Indivisible Austin, and Third Act. I'm also an organizer of the TGQ Social, which is a twice monthly gathering of gender diverse people, a strictly social gathering. I am also on the board of PFLAG Austin, which is the Austin chapter of PFLAG, which is a national organization that advocates, educate, and support LGBTQIA plus people and all those who love them. I have been involved with PFLAG Austin. It's been 12 years. I've served on their board in various capacity as then president and now VP of operations. I first came to know about PFLAG through a trans feminine friend of mine. This was shortly after I started my transition. She recommended that I come to one of the support group meetings, and so I did. I remember that first meeting very vividly. The thing that stuck the most in my mind was that parents of queer kids attending that meeting, specifically the mother of a trans-masculine person and their grandmother, and that really made an impression. And continuing forward from that, the PFLAG Austin support groups have been a really awesome resource for me. It's a place, certainly in the beginning, where I can come to and be supported, be understood, definitely not be challenged for who I am. It continues to be a very comforting, informative, and empowering space. I have never seen an occasion where somebody would come to the meeting and be in some state of agitation, some state of worry and concern, and not come away being much more assured and comforted. And it's a really great resource, and I continue to facilitate and come to as many of those meetings as I can, because it's a place where I can support others who are not as far along their journey as I am. So the main mission of PFLAG Austin are our support groups. We concentrate almost entirely on that. We occasionally go and table at various LGBTQIA plus events. We also go and make presentations at various companies and colleges and universities and organizations, companies around town such as Entertainment Arts, the consulting company Accenture, and organizations such as CASA, Court-Appointed Special Advocates. In fact, one time I went and presented to a statewide conference of people involved with running of prisons and jails, and I presented our Transgender 101 presentation, which is quite a popular presentation because not everybody is aware of all the aspects involved with the transgender community or all the nuances of the life of a transgender person. I feel that it's incumbent on me to give back, so to speak. So I basically just became a busybody, doing as much as I can, being at as many places as I can, just doing my little part to leave the world a better place than I found it. I think in a nutshell, I could say that what motivates me is I would consider it survivor's guilt or something like that. I am super blessed in my life. I am fortunate in many respects, in fact probably all aspects of life, and so compared to other people, I am much more able to spend the time and effort and resources to engage in activism for causes that I believe in. I suppose in a way I believe that, well, I am not a communist, but I believe to each according to their needs and from each according to their ability. And I feel that if everybody does what they can, when they can, do the best that they can, then we together, we can collectively move forward as a community. And I think it's important for everybody to be involved, because even though superficially it may seem that a certain issue doesn't affect me, in the overall scheme of things, it probably will, because we live in this thing called society. Who we are, what we do affects not only us, but everybody around us, and eventually everything as well. And so it's for those who may not be as able to advocate for themselves that I want to be active as much as I can to call attention to the issues, to advocate for them. I think most, if not all of us, feel a certain well-being when we do good, for others. And I think for all of us, that's what drives us to advocate for others, to be activists for righteous causes. And I think in my case, that's probably the case as well. The way one can start advocating more for causes that one believes in is to first be informed. And being informed means a couple of things. First is obviously the information and knowledge around the issue that one wants to advocate for. For example, if it's for the transgender community, maybe one wants to be more informed about what it means to be transgender, what a transgender person goes through, what challenges they face, what hostilities and discrimination and prejudice they might face that a cisgender person might not. And the internet could be a good source for that. But peer groups would be a good source. Churches or advocacy organizations such as PFLAG would be places where one can meet people and basically having discussion and exchange of information about that particular topic. The other thing with being more active is to know what one can do and when one can do it. By, say, getting on the mailing lists of activist organizations, maybe the ACLU or the Human Rights Campaign, Lambda Legal, or in Texas we have Equality Texas and the Transgender Education Network of Texas. By getting on their mailing list, that will be a way to be informed of any upcoming actions and activities and events. And I think lastly, it's important to know one's limits and capacity. And that last thing is actually pretty important, because it's easy to get burned out. One advice that I give to people is think of it as being in a choir. One doesn't have to sing all the time. There will be others around who will sing as one need to take a breather. Some people say that going to protests and speaking out on certain issues are performative, and that it really doesn't do anything to materially move the ball forward, so to speak. the point that I most often bring up is that can you imagine if there is a protest against an administration, for example, and nobody or very few people show up? What would that look like? And conversely, what if there are tens of thousands of people showing up, crowding a big, huge space? What would that look like? So showing up at these things is not just for ourselves. It's not just to make ourselves feel better. It's not just for making us feel like we're doing something, but it's also for the people who didn't show up. They see these things, they see these photographs on websites, they see it in the news coverage, and they see that there are many people out there who are passionate and who are willing to spend the time and effort to speak out, to advocate against these issues. It's important to keep the momentum going about moving towards a goal. People may be more motivated to get out and vote if they see that there are so many people out there who are so passionate about changing the environment that they are in, and that would motivate them to make some material, meaningful changes. I wouldn't say that I'm a particularly spiritual person. I don't tend to believe in maybe mystical things, or maybe a particular religion, or maybe subscribing to a certain ethos about humankind. But I think the guiding principle for me is the idea that there are no religion that teaches people to be mean to other people. Every religion has a variation of love your fellow human beings, and I think if everybody tried to adhere to that would be the guiding principles that will do the most good.